Okay, the speakers already here. So now let's proceed to the plenary session.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. This is Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhatti from the Islamic University of Bahawalpur, Pakistan. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Santi, the chair of the conference, and Dr. Zain Miftah for inviting me over here as their keynote speaker. Dear sir, really I am very honored to be invited over here and interact with the galaxy of scholars. So the topic of my today's talk is investigating the differences, methodologies used for teaching English at metric and O-level, a comparative study, and that is a brief sketch of my talk. Respected audience, the gift of gab is a special blessing of the Creator to mankind. This quality distinguishes the human beings from animals as, according to Chomsky, the learning of a language is an exclusive faculty of human beings and does not exist in any other species. Although animals like monkeys, dolphins, and some others can communicate with one another through language, yet they cannot use language as creatively as the human beings can do. They can communicate only in a fixed way by using certain specific signals. Language is something we use. It is a skill subject, and the basis of language is practice. Human beings need a language to communicate with the people of the world. For this purpose, there is a dire need of a language and of international language. Obviously, English has won the status and has become a source of communication among the people of different parts of the world. Its knowledge is a successful passport for employment. Teacher has great importance to make his students proficient in English language skills. He can play a significant and positive role in this regard, so he should have command over his subject and possess a great deal of the knowledge. Educational bodily process is a nation's construction and globally interrelated activity that unlocks the room access to modernization. It is imparted through formal, informal, and non-formal ways. For this purpose, there is a need of interaction among the educators, and study material. Usually, educational system at school level follows the medium of instruction in the subject language or mother tongue. In Pakistan, the students have to study English as a compulsory subject from KG to graduation level due to the following reason. English is a means of understanding the foreign and higher educational work. It is an international language used in research, commerce, aviation, diplomacy, and source of scientific and technological advancement. It is a symbol of power and high social status. English language was first brought to Britain in the 5th century AD by settlers from the European mainland. The stage of the language is usually known as Old English. In the following centuries, it was subjected to various influences which made it the language as it is today. These can most clearly be seen in the vocabulary of the language, which reflects the influence of a range of other languages. The first of these external influences, and probably the most important, was the Norman conquest of 1066 AD, which led to large numbers of French words being imported into English. From about this time, through trade and colonization, words were borrowed from other European languages, such as Spanish and Portuguese, and from languages in far-flung places, such as Africa, India, and Americas. This process was continued up to the present day. The following table will help to understand the language origin. Dear all, Latin was 29%, French is 29%, German is 26%, Greek is 6%, other languages which are unknown 6%, and proper names 4%. If we talk about the impact of English language in Pakistan, Arabic, Persian, and Sanskrit were the medium of instruction before the advent of British in the subcontinent. Lord Macaulay's reform in favor of English language as a medium of instruction in 1835 brought an end to the Oriental languages. The need for English became greater in 1854 when the eligibility to government service was restricted to those who had English education. Quaid-e-Azam, the founder of Pakistan, declared in the first All-Pakistan Educational Conference that Urdu would be the national language, but he never ignored the importance of English. According to him, as regards English, while the injurious effects of making an alien language the medium of instruction has been widely recognized, it must, for some considerable time to come, retain its pride of place both in the share of our university education as a means of international communication. The Commission of National Education 1959 observed that English would continue because it was the only effective means of communication with the world and the most adequate source of information on the latest development in science and technology. Therefore, all educated persons in the country should have a sound knowledge of this language. The importance of English language has been emphasized since the creation of Pakistan in all the education policies, right from the first education conference 1947 to the latest national education policy 1998 to 2010. The importance of English has been properly recognized. In Pakistan, there are two parallel systems of functioning, metric and O-level. Both the systems have their own controversial arguments to stand upon. The current study indicated that there was a relationship between the objectives mentioned in the National Education Policy and Scheme of Studies of Pakistani Secondary School Certificate and British GCE O-level English Language Program. Clear and well-defined objectives set right direction for teaching learning process. If objectives are not clear, the whole process is blocked. If a country has to survive honorably in the international community, its system of education, especially the curriculum being taught, should be internationally acceptable. In Pakistan, there are many institutions which offer O-level to the students, but the number of recognized institutions in the British Council is 180. Now, I would like to shed light over the comparison between O-level and the metric. The O-level is a world-recognized program. Though the metric and O-levels are running parallel, yet it is commonly assumed that they are creating discrimination between the persons qualifying from these two systems. The O-level system of education is for the elite class, while the metric level system of education is providing education to the common people. No significant research work appears to have been carried out to make the comparative analysis of the O-level and the metric education in Pakistan, with the special reference to English language teaching. That's why this study has been designed to probe the issue at large. In Pakistan, there are three levels of education system: elementary, secondary, and tertiary level. At the secondary level, there are parallel systems of education: Pakistani education system and British education system, that is the O and A level. At higher secondary level, there are also two parallel systems of education. One is higher standard secondary school system certificate, and the other is A level, respectively. These two main education systems can be termed as follows: local education system and British educational system. Each of these systems can be distinguished by their syllabuses, facilities, reward, system of staff, and the financial status of the students they are. So these are the main education systems in Pakistan. The Pakistani education system is highly centralized. The Federal Ministry of Education facilitates all the institutions involved in academic and technical education up to the intermediate level. At graduation and post-graduation level, the degree awarding higher education institutions coordinate instructions and conduct examinations. This educational system has spread its roots across Pakistan. The educational system at the higher secondary level consists of the 12 years education encompassing the primary level, the middle, the secondary, and the higher secondary level. Education system in Pakistan has been deteriorating because of the poor 46 education policies and lack of attention by the government. This is the annual assessment-based educational system in which the students are educated throughout the year and are promoted to the next level after getting through the annual examination. This system was totally owned by the government till 1970s, but after that, there were different private schools that followed the same educational system. In determining the effectiveness of both the system of education, secondary education universally recognized as a fundamental stage. British O and A level education system started in Pakistan. Several examinations offered by different examination boards of UK are available. It is important to note that all UK boards are recognized internationally. The choice of board may depend on the subjects taken up by the students according to their individual interests. It may also depend on the geographical location of the schools conducting examinations under any particular board. The education in UK is considered to be a standard for the students of 15 to 16 years of age. The O-level provides a foundation for further study or employment. It provides a wide range of subjects covering the whole curriculum. Within the subject areas which are generally available, there is often a choice of several subjects, and a student has that theory to choose any number of subjects. Most of the students take between 7 to 10 O-level subjects. Dear all, there is a difference between Pakistani education and O and A-level education system. The mainstream of Pakistani education system is common with that of many developing countries, and Britain not so long back expects children to devote themselves to rote learning. People sit passively in rows and chant or copy or just sit and memorize their lessons, that is, the pages of their government prescribed textbooks. The teacher is to be obeyed, never questioned. Knowledge consists of the words to be repeated back, not concepts to be understood. The only skills required are silent, obedience, and memorization from the primary to college level. But there is rather different case with British O and A level education system in Pakistan. This system is promoting creative thinking, understanding of concepts, and better communication skills in students. O and A level are imparting quality education in Pakistan. Pakistan has a very low literacy rate as compared to the other developing countries in the region like Indonesia, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and India. Government has failed to provide the nation with quality education. School syllabi are not up to the date, and teachers are not honest to their duty in government schools. As a result, students seeking education from government schools and other private institutions up to matriculation and intermediate levels are deprived of many essentials that must be included in the syllabus to link them with the developing world of science and technology. On the other hand, there is the British system of education that offers O and A levels. It offers a revised and updated syllabus to all the students. Teachers are committed to their work and try to prepare their students so as they could compete the modern world. None of the responsible officers in the Pakistan Ministry of Education ever had the moral courage to admit that the foreign system of education is far better than the prevailing local system of education. The equivalence certificate no less than a stumbling block likely to fall on the career of young people, which makes their future insecure and leaves no choice but to go abroad and seek higher education. The comparison of O and A level and matriculation and intermediate is quite popular among the students at the undergraduate level, since it is a juncture where the two streams combine. The students coming from either channel are often unaware of the realities at the other end, but when they join the same classes, they have the opportunity to understand one another's capabilities. However, the assumption that the students qualifying O and A level exams are more capable than those qualifying the metric and intermediate exams is not fully justified. There may be a little difference between the two categories of students, but it is not as wide as generally supposed. It is often assumed that O and A level students have better conceptual learning. This assumption originates from the belief that many students favor understanding of concepts in order to get good marks in the O and A level examinations, while on the other hand, the matriculation students believe in rote learning for securing good grades in the examination. The students adopt the O and A level educational system because it has greater compatibility with the foreign higher education. The students qualifying through the O and A level education system in Pakistan have been showing excellent performance in higher studies abroad. So logically speaking, going for O and A level studies is more advantageous than matriculation and intermediate system. The O and A level systems are more capable of providing bright students as compared to the matriculation and intermediate system. Moreover, the growing approbation of the O-level and A-levels education in proof of Pakistani society is another proof of its superiority over the other parallel systems. Quality education. Dear all, the British O and A-level education system is providing the best education with unique features in Pakistan. The students of O and A-level are educated in consonance with the international standards. The British O and A-level education systems aims at providing a range of comprehensive and quality education to the students. Teachers have foreign exposure in O and A level institutions in Pakistan. Many teachers are foreign qualified. The assessment method used by O and A level examination evaluate higher intellectual abilities of comprehension, logical thinking, and problem solving. As a result of a secure, valid, and reliable process for national and international compatibility of academic achievement, Pakistani students become able to compete on equal terms of entrance into leading academic institutions nationally and worldwide due to high standards of O and A level education system. The objectives of secondary education mentioned in the National Education Policy 1998 to 2010 are as under: to prepare the students for the world work as well as pursuit of professional and specialized education, to develop the personality of students as enlightened citizens of an Islamic state and peace-loving citizens of the world at large, to ensure that all students, all boys and girls who are desirous of entering secondary education are not deprived of their basic rights because of non-availability of the schools, to design a system of recruiting, training, and selection of teachers in such a way that well-qualified and trained teachers are available for the subjects offered at secondary level, to prepare and make available such teaching learning material which makes learning rewarding and attractive, to introduce a system of evaluation that emphasizes the learning of concepts and discourages rote memorization. Dear all, the problems of English language teachers and their causes are as under: lack of fluency in English, lack of and the students, unsuitable textbooks. The textbooks are not suitable and which are going to compete the world at large. Economic problems are also here, and teachers are not so much trained. Syllabus is not up to date. Material is not up to the level, and there is unequal distribution of periods of the teachers, and the classes are overcrowded. So there must be 25 students in one class. So the ratio should be 125. Dear all, the objectives of my study were to analyze the objectives of the teaching English at metric and O level, to critically review the teaching methodology of both the programs used for teaching English, to compare the academic achievement of both the programs, to suggest measures, to compare the contents of the curricula of both the courses, to undertake the comparison of the examination system of English course in both the programs. If we talk about the significance of the study, the findings of the study would provide guidelines to the curriculum planners, managers, and experts in redefining the objectives of the secondary school English language curriculum. It may facilitate the course developers to design the English language course according to the international standards. The educational planners and the administrators may consider reallocation of funds for the training of the English language teacher. Furthermore, it would help the teachers to teach English as a foreign language in an effective way. This study can also help the students in focusing their attention, stimulating their interest, giving them real impact, making them aware, modernizing their learning and acquisition. This research is expected to be beneficial for the students, for the teachers, and the institution theoretically and practically. My research questions were: How far the objectives of English language learning are appropriate at metric and O levels? How far content of both the courses are suitable for the students to learn English? What teaching methods are being used to teach English language at metric level and O level? What are the similarities and differences in the examination system of both the programs? Now I would like to move towards the literature review. We cannot make our influence without command on English language. This statement was given by Matthews in 1989. According to French, learning a second language is more important than learning a description of it. It involves imitating, practicing, memorizing, listening, interpreting, reading, writing, and speaking. According to Usher and James, methods are the combination of techniques that are used in the teaching system and are practiced by the teachers in the classroom, whereas approaches are the language teaching philosophies that can be and applied in a variety of different ways in the classroom. According to Larson, direct method is based on the principle that the foreign word and its idea should be associated directly with each other without the intermediary link of the mother tongue. Nielsen narrated that the structural approach makes the teacher's task clear and definite. The teachers are happy with the results, though greater emphasis is laid on speech, but the other language skills like reading and writing are not ignored in this approach. 20 teachers and 60 students from the Government ST High School, Bahawalpur participated in this study. And if we talk about research methodology, that was experiential, and the research approach was quantitative, and random sampling was done. Questionnaire for the teachers and pre-test and post-test for the students were used as a tool to collect the data from the respondents. And that is the result of pre-test and for control group, and the post-test result of pre-test result of the experimental group. And that is the post-test results of control and experimental groups. And that is the table based on the factors which I got from the collected data from the teachers. Improves learning, 90% teachers were agreed. Learn vocabulary, 80% teachers were agreed. Eliminates hesitation, 90% teachers agreed. Fulfills current needs, 90% agreed. In convenient way, 80% teachers were agreed. That is the graphic description of my talk. Dear all, before leaving, I would like to move towards my findings and the conclusion. Teachers and parents' cooperation in regard of sharing academic performance of students is a way to increase conceptual level of the students. O-level English curriculum gave access to professional and vocational courses that were relevant to the requirement of world of work. O-level curriculum developed and promoted creative writing abilities, whereas the SS level curriculum promoted rote learning habits for writing a paragraph or in other types of writing skill. The present scheme of the study of O-level was considered appropriate to achieve the objectives of learning English, whereas the scheme of the study at metric level was not considered appropriate to achieve the objective. It was concluded that there was a need to bring changes in the scheme of studies to achieve the objectives. The course objectives of learning English language in metric and O-level were well defined, clear and relevant to the demands of students. However, in the O-level, they met the international standards, but in the metric level, they did not meet the international standard. The contents in the textbooks in both the courses were found appropriate and up to the mental level of the students. However, the content of O-level was internationally competitive as compared to the metric level. My suggestions and recommendations are: the metric level curriculum needs to be revised and modified according to the requirements. For example, integration of core skills, use of technologies such as use of computer in language learning, use of computer lab by the English language teachers, and induction of the latest topics in the curriculum like human rights and environment. It should be updated and made compatible according to the international standards and should also be formulated to develop reflective, creative, and critical thinking in the students. The contents of the English language textbooks in the public schools may be revised and modified to develop communicative skill in the students. It should contain the communicative activities for providing opportunities of language practice to the students. Conducive environment for the language learning may be developed in secondary schools. The English language teacher and the students by using authentic material and by adopting peer work and group work activities in the classroom. The teacher-student ratio should be 125 so that the teacher may implement student-centered and language-centered approach properly. The public schools may be equipped with libraries, language labs, and AV aids materials such as tape recorder, video player, media, and such facilities may be properly used for improving the teaching learning process in the subject of English. Government should formulate proper education policy for introducing proper language teaching in the country. Teachers should present their lessons in an enjoyable, relaxed, and interesting way. And these were some references from which I got the help. And thanks for your patience and any question, please. That's all, dear all, from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Safdar, for your informative and interesting presentation.
So nice of you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So nice of you.
Yeah, very well, ladies and gentlemen. We finally come to the discussion session. We have 30 minutes for the discussion session. Should you have any question, please click the raise your hand button, and I can choose you by calling your name. And then you can unmute yourself to talk to. Or if you don't want to talk, you can leave your question in the chat box and I will help you to read the questions. Please. Yeah, while we're waiting for the audience to ask you, I actually want to talk about something in Indonesia too regarding this. You know, the elementary school in Indonesia, English is not compulsory, sir. It is just a complementary.
Okay, ma'am. But in Pakistan, English is a compulsory subject, ma'am. From KG to graduation level.
Wow.
Students have to study that. And Alhamdulillah, right now, the students are having and creating some interest in that because of their teachers. Now the teachers are more competent and they trained well. Especially, that's why I have chosen this subject, but now the teachers are going to give first-hand knowledge, especially the O and the A-level teachers. And now the government has taken some steps, remedial steps. They are going to hire some trained master trainers and the lead trainers who are going to train the English language teachers up to the standard.
Okay. But in Indonesia, compared to Pakistan, I mean, English is not compulsory. So when they go to secondary school, everybody was surprised. I never learned English at all. So they are struggling there, really struggling.
Okay. But here is that benefit to the students that they are going to learn this language from their class 1 to up to the graduation level. So there is no problem. But the problem lies with the proper teaching. Basically, that's why I was focusing on the teachers, that they will have to update themselves, update their knowledge, update their methods, and they will have to vary their teaching methods according to the needs of the student. Because the teacher himself is not having any level. He should teach his students up to according to the level of his students. According to the class, according to the student, he should teach them.
I see. Okay, so it's more on the teachers.
Yes.
Okay, everybody, do you have questions?
Actually, ma'am, I have tried my level best to give the best of mine and to give overall gist of that topic. so that my audience may learn from this topic. I had tried.
Yeah, I think it is interesting because it's quite different from our situation here in Indonesia. Yeah, I saw a lot of students struggling with English because it is not our um yeah, it is
Yeah.
a foreign language, so
Yes, definitely.
it is really, really foreign. And I see that Pakistan is more, what is it? GCE is English, British English, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but I don't think Indonesian has that kind of a specific lesson from this what is it? This institution or country, something like that.
Okay, okay. You are not having O level and A level classes in your country?
As far as I know, we don't.
Okay, 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 fine.
Maybe for private schools
Okay,
outside Palangka Raya, yeah,
okay,
in
okay.
Jakarta or big cities, but not in my city.
Right.
Yeah.
Dr. Santi, is he there?
Santi, are you here with us? I think she is on her way somewhere.
Okay,
She was here.
okay, okay.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, ma'am, how are you?
I'm great.
Okay, nice. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
The pleasure is ours.
Thank you, ma'am. If you have any question, we can interact.
Okay, so we have a question here in the chat box. Morning, sir. Please inform us, how is the variety of the school, private and state school, and is it the state school as for biosample in Pakistan?
Just let me see the chat box, ma'am. Please inform us how is the variety. Oh, yeah. There is a variety of schools in Pakistan. There are public schools, there are private schools, and there is a difference of the private schools as well. Some schools are for the elite class, they are well paid, they are highly paid, and the fees are so much huge. When there is such condition, the teachers are also trained, and they are also going to give them the first hand knowledge, and there is compulsion of communicating in the classroom just in English. There are the mediocre schools which there, I think there is some echo. There is some echo. Dr. Santi, could you mute yourself?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, yes, please. Okay. So there are some mediocre schools where there is no compulsion for the schools and for the students to use English as a medium of instruction. They are going to teach the students with the help of their mother tongue as well. So that is a variety. The upper level, the middle level, and the lower level. These are the some private schools, and in the public schools, there is a primary school, middle school, high school, and the higher secondary schools. So that is a variety over here. But everywhere, English is the government and especially the teachers are going to use English as a compulsory subject because government has given the impact or importance to English language as a compulsory subject. So the students are supposed to learn English from their KG1 to from class KG to the graduation and the college level. So English when they are going to learn English as a compulsory subject, then they will have to show their personal interest. And then they will have to create their some interest to learn this language and for their further studies as well. Thank you.
Okay, that's very interesting. There are a wide variety of schools there in Pakistan too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anybody? We're still waiting for your questions. If you want to talk to him directly, you can unmute yourself. Sir, you said you are also a linguist, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I am actually a linguistic teacher too.
Wow, great.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just surprised because I haven't read I saw that in one of your slides that English has what is it? Acquired 20% of its language from German language, as I know that it is derived from German, but my surprise was why French took a lot of percent rather than the German itself by 29%.
Okay, actually, there is an amalgamation of different languages, which whose languages words are going to be mingled in that language. So German, in the German, I have given in the brackets as well. You can see in that. That is I derived it from internet. That was the historical background of this language. How this language. This is the basically origin of English language. How it was going to be originated, from which language, which words were going to be taken to make this language. So that's why I have given the everything in that. And that's why I was asking you, are you going to record my session? Because after this session, you can listen to that. If again you are having any question, if you are having any queries, you can ask me. You can ask Dr. Santi. She's having my number. I have also shared my number and the email as well. You can send you can contact me through email. I shall inshallah try to give you the answer of your queries as well.
Yeah.
Because that is very interesting, because we all are the English language teachers, are the linguist. And on the behalf of my this about 3 decades teaching experience, because I am a trainer, teacher trainer and the arts trainer, I have observed that if the teacher is are trained, he is going to teach his students in a good sense. If he is personally interested in the updating knowledge of his student, then everything is okay. Everything is basically stick with and up to the teacher. If the teacher is updated, then you can find the reflection of teachers in his students. If the teacher, and very sorry to say, I would like to say, an ignorant teacher spreads ignorance everywhere, because teacher is a role model for the students. They are just going to copy him, they are just going to imitate him. So the teacher must keep himself abreast of what is happening around him. On the behalf of that, he will be able to impart the first-hand knowledge onto his students.
I completely agree with that, sir.
Thank you, madam.
I'm trying my best as a teacher to give compassion to them, to be as best as I can to teach them too. That's very inspiring.
Yes,
to me.
definitely. Yes, we have to inspire our students. We have to engage, ignite the interest for learning into our students.
Okay.
Dr. Zain Mifta is there. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. Yeah,
Good morning. Good morning. How is going on, sir?
welcome to IAIN Palangka Raya, sir. Yeah,
So nice of you.
nice to meet you.
Sir, thank you very much. I am really grateful to you and Dr. Santi as well for giving me this opportunity to meet such galaxy of scholars here. Really, I respect you. And I am really thankful to you for inviting me. I think there is another question in the chat box.
Another question.
Among those factors that faced by the teacher, you mentioned such as lack of competency. You mentioned the top 3 of them. Deal with them. Yes. Thank you very much for your very nice question. Actually, the top 3 of them is to train the teachers, to make the classroom environment conducive, to provide, I think, aviates there. And the third one is the government should take some steps for the better assessment. So these are 3 top priority. Train teachers. Teachers should have good fluency, good competency, subject command. And the second one is the classroom must be updated and it should have the look of the class. In my opinion, dear all, there is a triangle between the teacher, student, and the classroom. The teacher can teach his students. There is an interaction between him and the students in the class. So the classroom plays an important role in the well-being of the students. So if we are going to make our classroom the best place, the best learning place, the best imparting place, then automatically the students are going to be updated. So the student, we have to create some interest in them. Students are just coming and
Right.
sitting in the class to pass their, get their average marks in their papers. That is not our basically success. Our success basically lies in the success of our students. If we are saying that that particular teacher is very competent, his competency is going to be reflected by the results of his students. I believe in that. Your students should have your reflection. You should try to impart the first-hand knowledge to your students, and the classroom must be give a look of the class where the students come and automatically have or create some interest in his learning. So these are some points, my dear. I think you have got the answer of your question. Okay, another question. Yes, as I told you that the founder of Pakistan, Qaid said that English should be given due consideration. So from the very beginning, English was going to be given due consideration at elementary, primary, and even from class 1 to up to that. And especially nowadays, from about 2 decades, it is going to be given due consideration and due value to learn this at school level, because the if the student is updated at school level, automatically his further studies can be improved at university level. So school level is the best place for learning this language, because the students are at such a age where they can learn and pick the language very easily. So we have to give them, we have to get the edge of their picking power, and we have to teach this language from that level. So from class 1 to up to intermediate level, class 12, grade 12 to, right? So these are some points which are going to be given due consideration, and they are going to be transmitted onto the students in the class, and the teacher is going to involve his students with the help of different activities. There is a PD training system. PD training is basically joint venture of British Council of Pakistan and the government of Punjab. They are going to train the teachers up to the level. They are going to train the primary level teacher. They are going to train the elementary level teacher, and they are going to train the secondary level teachers as well. So PD, and especially the British Council, is going to perform its role very well in upgrading and updating the knowledge of English language teachers in Bahawalpur and Pakistan as well. Thank you, sir. Is there any question? Okay, sir. Welcome, welcome. You are welcome.
Okay, another question? Still have a few minutes. Sir, my other question while waiting for them. In Pakistan, how many languages do you use?
Okay, ma'am, there are many languages. Local languages are also there. The second language is basically English, we have to learn, and the national language is Urdu. But there is a variety of local languages. Sraiki, basically I'm Sraiki, Punjabi, Pashto, and also Sindhi. So there is a variety of local languages as well. About, I think if I can guess, I'm not sure, there are 26 local languages which are going to be used in Pakistan.
I see. So the situation is same as in here, our city, Palangka Raya. There are a
Yes.
lot of local languages.
Yes.
So I can consider Pakistanis are multilingual too.
Yes, basically Pakistanis are the multilingual students. We
Mm.
are lucky enough that their brains are very sharp to learn any language because at their home they have to use their mother tongue. In their with their class fellows and with their friends, they will have to use the national language Urdu, and in the classroom they will have to learn English language. So they are the multilinguals. So they are very sharp brains because language learning is not an easy task. You will have to use your brain again and again. So there is a question from Nasreen Bukhari.
Oh, yes.
Explain the parents' role in learning English language at primary level. Thank you, Nasreen, for having or asking this question. Parents' role is very important because the first school of a child is the mother lab, and the teachers should change. The parents should change their rooms into classrooms. If you are going, especially the mothers, if the mothers are well trained and if the mothers are having good communication skills, they can communicate with their children in this language. That automatically the children will be going to learn this language because at that I think age the students and the children are not going to use any language blank papers. So if the mother is going to teach to communicate with them English, automatically they will learn English. If the mother is going to, because why we say it mother tongue? Because the first word with a child learns that is mother's lab and mother's wording. So if the mothers are updated, if the mothers are having good command over English, then automatically they, whatever the language they are going to use, they automatically they are going to impart that language to their children. So mothers and the parents' role is very important. If they are updated, if they are qualified, if they are having command over English language, automatically they will be communicating with their children at the homes and their learning can be improved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's very interesting. So we still have another question, sir.
Okay,
One
okay,
more
no, ma'am,
question.
no. How
Yes.
difference India and Pakistan fluency in English? India people is used to the yes, good question. There is a difference between the Pakistani English and the Indian English. English basically, the Britishers stayed for a longer time in India. That's why they are influenced by that language, and they are going to give stress on learning language. I can say that the Indian English is far better than the Pakistani English. Their students are having some better communication skills in comparison with the students of Pakistani students because I'm teaching at the global level. So the students who are joining me from India and overseas, they are having better communication skills in comparison to the Pakistani students. Pakistani students are basically, in my opinion, are having very good brains to learn, but they are not having the chances and they are not exposed to use this language. But in India, this language is going to be exposed. The students are going to be exposed and exposed to this language. That's why they are learning. There is a difference between Indian language, English language, and the Pakistani English language. Thank you.
Thank you. Another questions? Other questions? This is very interesting because it has a very wide explanation to it, and everybody has different experience with learning English here.
Yes.
The people in the cities will be different from the people in the suburbs here, sir. Okay, so no more questions? Oh, another one, sir.
Let me check. I think  Amanda, you have joined me later. I have told all the problems. which can, and the challenges which the teachers and the students have to face. The most important is the economy problem over here, and all over the world we are facing this problem. And the other problem is common problem, and the challenge is that teachers are not up to date. They themselves are not willing to teach well. Normally, I say to my students over here, the students are not willing to learn, and the teachers are not willing to teach. So this is a problem. This is a common problem, I think, everywhere. Nowadays, the students are not really interested in learning the language. They just want to pass their exam, and that's all. Okay, thank God that we have passed this subject, very difficult subject, because the failure ratio of English in Pakistan is more. The students pass all their subjects, but they are again and again they are going to fail in this subject. The problem lies with their primary teaching. Primary teaching is the best primary level. If the teachers are going to give them best knowledge at that level, automatically they can improve themselves. They can learn a lot. So these are some common problems, especially when the students are in the primary section, primary level. There must be well-trained, very qualified teachers to teach them well. And the other problem is the economy problem. Due to this economic problem, the classrooms cannot be decored well. The facilities are not going to be given up to the level. So when there are no facilities, multimedia facility, there are no language labs. So how students can learn? And how students can learn if he is not going to expose to this language? If the teacher himself is going to use first language in the class, automatically the students are going to use that. So the teacher should give linguistic atmosphere in the classroom. He should use English language in the classroom. The medium of instruction must be in English. Automatically the students' interest can be created and they can learn this language. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think that will be the last question for this keynote session.
So nice of you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for the answers. That is very, very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so before we close this keynote session, I would like to invite all of the attendees here to open their camera for photos. Okay, will the committee take the photos or should I?
You can take
Committees?
the photo.
Okay, I will take the photo. Please, everybody, would you please open your camera? Okay, I'll take the photo. You ready? First slide. Okay, everybody's still opening it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Third slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the last slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're done. Thank you so much. Thank you so
nice
much.
of you, ma'am. So nice of you.
Yeah. Okay, we would like to say thank you one more time for Dr. Safdar today and for the audiences for your active participation. The first keynote session is done for today, but please don't go anywhere because we will begin the plenary session shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank
Dr.
you very much.
Safdar.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
giving this chance, especially Dr. Santi and Dr.
Yeah.
Jan Mifta. I'm
Thank you,
really
sir.
thankful to you. That was a great
Yeah.
honor
Thank you
for
very
me to
much.
interact. Okay, that was a great honor for me to interact with such a nice audience. So nice of
Thank
you.
you.
And
Thank you
thank you
so
and
much.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Good
bye.
morning. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.